Varsity Sports on Midco Sports Network is presented by Shields.
Welcome back. We continue to profile the region's top talents with our version of one-on-one. This week we get to sew North and South Dakota together through the story of Deng Geu. He was born in Sudan but has played high school ball in both Fargo and Sioux Falls. And last October, he completed the circle by choosing to play his college basketball at North Dakota State. Jason joins us now with more.
Thanks, Jay. Well, as I was waiting to talk to Deng Geu in the halls of Sioux Falls, Washington, I ran into 3 different either Washington coaches or teachers, and they all asked me what I was doing there. When I told them I was getting ready to talk to Deng Geu, they all replied with the same 2 words: good kid. He's also a good basketball player. He's taken quite a long road to get there.
Forward to 6'8" senior, number 32, Deng Geu.
When you talk about Deng Geu, one thing is sure to come up: dunking. And when you mention that word dunk, a smile comes across his face.
It feels good because it's just a momentum changer. You know, when the crowd's getting hype, it just gives you a little bit more energy. You see your teammates get hype, and it just goes on from there. But walking around class or school, everybody's like, "Hey, you gonna dunk it today?" And you're just like, "I'll try."
While dunking may have put him on the map, Deng has had to use a map to get where he is today.
I was born in Sudan, and then I came to Fargo when I was 6 years old. Then grew up there around North Fargo for a while. And then during middle school up to 7th grade, then I moved to South Fargo. Then after South Fargo, I came here sophomore year, like second semester of sophomore year.
But as many miles as he's logged physically in his 18 years, he's traveled even further in his basketball development over the last 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, he came in just really raw in his sophomore year. We could see he had that potential, he had those abilities, those skills to become a really good player, but it just took some time. And then Deng really progressed the second half of last year into the spring, and then of course into the summer when he started getting looked at by some colleges and playing a really good AAU schedule, and that's going to all pay off for him this season.
Geu credits Coach Nelson with pushing him to become great.
When I came here, you know, I had the height and I had potential, but he pushed me harder, and he's been on me. Like, he doesn't let me be like, "Oh yeah, you're good. You can just go do whatever you want." Like, he holds me accountable to all the little things.
Deng says his goal as a freshman was to play Division I basketball, but it wasn't until a couple summers later he started playing AAU ball, and at that point it became obvious that Geu's talent would get him to his D1 goal. NDSU, SDSU, and USD were all in the hunt for Geu's services last summer, but Geu chose Fargo for his college home.
It was a lot of, they came down here every day, just support, like they came to all the open gyms. They showed they wanted me, that I was their number 1 guy. And then family down there made it a lot easier.
Before Deng starts his college career, he knows there's a few things he has to work on.
Definitely my weight, just because it's going to be very physical, so I got to put on some weight. And shooting, I got to work on my shot. Just three-pointer outside. A lot's changed, you know, just going back with coach and working on all the little details and just polishing up my game. I feel like I've grown as a player a lot more in these past 2 years.
If the last 2 years of improvement are any indication of how much he will improve over the next couple years, Bison fans are in for a treat.
All right, now, Jason, Deng Geu's not a name that maybe everybody knew coming into this season. He sort of came out of nowhere.
Well, last year his stats really didn't pile up like a D1 prospect, and the reason for that is he started out the season with an iron deficiency. He had trouble getting up and down the court. Once the doctors figured that out, he had a very strong second half to last season, played AAU ball for the first time in the summer, and that's when he really got on the radar, and NDSU latched onto that very quickly and really was the front runner through the whole recruiting process, although Deng said that USD was working very hard to try to get him to come to Vermilion also.
Yeah, I think South Dakota State was in on him too.
They also gave an offer, and then they backed off just a little bit because they wanted to recruit some more guards in their 2015 class.
Well, you know, obviously he's a big body, 6'8", 6'9" range, big but skinny. And how do you think that translates then going forward?
Well, they need guys with big frames in the Summit League, and they're going to get that, but he doesn't quite have it right now. Although if you look at a picture of him last year versus this year, he's put a lot of weight on in that weight room, and a lot of that because of his coach, Craig Nelson, has really stressed getting stronger, and he's going to take the whole year next year to redshirt. He already knows that, to get bigger and stronger and to really to work on that outside shot.
So obviously Craig Nelson, pretty pleased to have the opportunity to coach him this year. The guy coaching him next year will be David Richmond at North Dakota State, and here's what he had to say about his prized recruit.
Deng's unbelievable talent on the floor, and I think he's only scratching the surface, but the young man was the homecoming king at Sioux Falls, Washington High School, and only being there a year and a half. You know, that gives me goosebumps. You know, I mean, that's the person that I and we want to be surrounded with, and I think he's still got a lot of good relationships back here. It's my understanding that his mother has just moved back or is in the process of moving back. So, again, I think this will be home for him for a lot of sense.
Well, winter was a little warmer in some high school gyms last week. Find out who's heating up and who brought the thunder in this week's high school hoops forecast next.
Varsity Sports on Midco Sports Network is presented by AE Tech Electrical Training Center in Rapid City.